Hi guys, welcome to this video. In this video, we can see how to prepare the data of advanced modeling. Like while importing data, we will use to know about the transform data, right? So let's see how to use the Power Query Editor tool, and also why this Power Query Editor is used, like for importing those data and transforming. Why we are using the Power Query Editor. So let's see what are all the tools available in the Power Query Editor and how we can change the data like what we have imported from the Excel. Okay, so before that, I like to know you guys, I have posted a video on this Power BI entire interface, how you can use these menu bars and what are all the tools available in this Power BI. So if you have not watched that video, so kindly watch that, and after watch this video, because that will be the basic video of Power BI. Or else if you know about those interface, like what are all the tools available in that in this Power BI dashboard, and you can also directly view this video. Okay, so in our last video we have created a report based on a single table, so it will be very easy for us to import the table like data from a single table, and we can create when we have created the visualization in our last video. Okay, so in this video we are going to import some advanced data. Like what if you are having like a 6 or 7 sheets of data, by having like around 10 tables, like how you can import those tables into this Power BI report. Okay, so let's see how we can use that. Okay, so before that, I'm going to show you like this Excel sheet. So this is the data that I'm going to import, and now like we are going to change this data by using Power Query Editor. As you can see here, we have around various sheets here, like 2022 sales, 2021 sales, 2020 sales, products, location, customers, salespeople, budgeting, and date ranges. Okay, so like I have this separate data for a separate sheet, and for the inside, like you can see here, this entire data, like it has been in a table format. You can see here the table name as sales 2022. Because in Power BI, like we have seen in the last video itself, if you are going to import the data from the entire sheet, or else you can import the data from a particular table that we have created in Excel. Okay, so now we are going to import this data in Power BI. So let's close this. Okay, so now we can import our data. So either you can click here or you can click the Excel workbook here. Yeah, so let's go on with this, and then we will select the product data because this is the data that I'm going to import in this report. Okay, and then as you can see here, like it will take some time. So as you can see here, like there are our sheets which are in that Excel sheet, and we are having the tables. Like you can see, I already explained on the previous video, like if we have a blue header, like a blue color header on this box, it is showing us that this is a table that we have in the Excel sheet. And if you have a full white sheet, it is nothing but the sheets on the Excel sheet. Okay, so you can directly select these data, and you can directly click on load, and you can go for creating your reports. Okay, but if you need to change any data in these tables, you can go for the transform data. It will be automatically redirected you to the Power Query Editor. So because in this video we are going to see about the Power Query Editor tool. Okay, so let's select the data. What are all the data we need for creating this report? Okay, so at first we need a sales data for all these three here. And if you are going to import the sales data, like salespeople data is mandatory for importing that. Okay, and then product data, location data. So I don't want this date ranges into my data. And then like a customer data, like budget data, budget allocation. Okay, I don't want this because I'm going to create and I'm going to transform data. Like I'm going to import these tables first, and then if we need any more data or any more visualization on our report, we can import this. Okay, like you can check here like whether we have imported the entire table. Okay, it will show like this because this preview is only for limited for up to like 132 rows. Yeah, it may be 132 rows, or it may have some limit. Okay, if you have over around thousands or 10,000 of rows, the entire data will not be shown here. Okay, You can directly click on load if you are okay with this data. So here I am going to change some data here. So I'm going for a transform data. So after clicking this transform data, it will automatically move towards this Power Query editor bar. Okay, like I'll minimize and show you. Okay, as you can see, our report view is there, but you can see here the data haven't loaded because we have not loaded our data. We have created, like we have gone for the transform data for a Power Query editor, right? Okay, you can see here this is the Power Query editor, like how it will work. Okay, it will show in this report view. So now you can't able to change anything on this. You can see here this report view. You can't able to change anything. Like after clicking this, like after creating what are all the data we need to change everything. If we change everything means you can directly click on this close and apply, and then our data will be loaded on this report. Okay. So let's expand this and let's see what are all the tools available in this Power Query editor. Okay. Okay, as you can see, the customer data, location data, product, sales people, sales 2020, sales 2021, sales 2022. So these are all the data that we have selected on, like while we are importing the data, right? It is showing on the left side as a queries. Okay, we have around 7 queries. It's nothing but the table count. Okay, so then let's explore what are all the ribbon menu tools that we have in this Power Query editor. Okay, so this is nothing but the close and apply. You can directly close and apply if you are okay with this. Like if you have done many changes on this Power Query editor, you can directly click on this close and apply, or you can directly click on apply. Or if you don't want to apply any filters which we have done in this Power Query editor, you can directly close this. This will never impact your data. The actual data while you are importing in this Power Query editor will will reflect on the report data. Okay. So the next one is new source. New source is nothing but like we have imported this data by Excel workbook. Or if you need to add any some more columns, like or any some more data, so you can also import that from the Excel workbook. Or if you are to import some data from the web, you can also use this web or any blank query. Like if you are well known like about the DAX functions or about this DAX code, you can also directly create your own code and you can create data by your own. Okay, or else you can also more like more tools to import a new source. Okay, like we will see deep about this, like about this text, web, and blank query as a separate video. I will upload it as soon as possible. Okay, so this is how this new source tool will work. And recent sources is nothing but if you have used any sources before, it will appear here and you can directly import the source. Okay, and the enter data is nothing but we will use the enter data in our like a normal report view, right? Like in the table view, like in last video we have discussed like how to import data. Like while importing, like we will have Excel workbook, SQL server, or like try some sample data sets. On that also you can see that enter data option here. Like we can manually type our data. Like it looks like a common Excel or Word tools. Okay, and then what's that? Then refresh preview. Okay, if you like, we have discussed this refresh tool in previous video itself on the report view, but in this Power Query editor, this refresh preview has like two refresh. Okay, it is nothing but the refresh preview and refresh all. Like I have explained in the previous video itself, if you have to refresh all the data, you can directly click on this refresh. Okay, it will refresh all. If you need to refresh the particular sales data, like if you have made some changes on the Excel sheet on the particular sales 2022 data, like you can directly go for the refresh preview, like it will refresh only the sales 2022 data. Like if you click on this refresh all button, it will take around I don't know the exact time. It's based on your data which you have imported. It will take more time to refresh all the data which are also available in this particular sheet. Okay, so if you go for the refresh preview, this sales 2022 will able to refresh. Okay, so this is how this refresh tool will work. Okay, and then properties and then advanced editor. Advanced editor is nothing but like if you have to create a new table by using a DAX measure or a DAX function, You can directly go for the advanced editor and you can directly write your own DAX code on that table. Okay, so we will see deep about this advanced editor and like a new source data, like which are all like how we can create a new source. Okay, I will put a separate video for these two because this will have some like a very very huge content on this advanced editor and new source. So I'll put some separate videos for that, so it will be very easy for you to for you guys. Okay, and if you go for a manage, you can see you can duplicate this data. You can also use a reference data for this. Okay, you can create a new query based on the reference. Okay, and if you have to delete this query, you can directly delete. This is entirely for the query. Okay, like this refresh properties advanced editor manage. As you can see here, this data is only focusing on the query. Okay, and then this is nothing but the choose columns and the remove columns and keep rows and remove rows. So at first, like choose column, you can also directly choose column or you can go to the column. Like if you have like yeah, if you have more columns, like in this table we just have around like 10 yeah, it may be 10 columns. So if you have more number of columns, it is very hard to it's like a search for a particular column. You can directly go for the search column or I can select the choose columns or you can see the go to columns. Like if you click on this go to column, like in this like you can see there are customer ID, order date, quantity, price. If you have more number of columns here, it is very hard to find the particular column. Like if you have to go for the order date, if you click on OK, as you can see the order date column as selected. So it is very easy to view those columns individually. Okay, so this is how this choose column tool will work. And if you need to remove the column, you can directly click on remove column. If you like, or like if you need to keep this particular column, and if you need to remove all those columns except the selected column, you can directly click on like remove other columns. Okay, and the same for the rows, like keep rows and remove rows. Okay, so this is how this make a manage column and reduce rows tools will work. Like and the next one is sort, like whether you need to sort this based on ascending or descending. Okay, and then split the column. Okay, so okay, let's see how we can split the column. Okay, you can see the cells based on here. Okay, so this split column is used to split the single column into two. Okay, you can see the cell space on name here. As you can see the name as Fred Robertson, Kevin Butler. As you can see, there is a space between those two names. If you have to change this particular column into a separate column as a first name as a Fred and the second name or the last name as a Robertson, you can directly go for the split column. And in this split column, you can like split it by the number of characters or by positions or lowercase to uppercase or uppercase to lowercase. Or like if you click on this column, you can separate this like by digit to non-digit or by non-digit to digit. Okay, so you can also split that by using an alphabet. Like if you need this alphabet as a separate column or if you need a numerical value as a separate column, you can split by using this option. So the next one is like this delimiter. Delimiter is nothing but you can split these two columns based on a delimiter. Like if you have the comma or a full stop or any punctuation like between these two words, you can split that by using that particular delimiter. Okay, okay, we can go for this. Okay. You can see here select or enter the delimiter. Like based on this column, it will be automatically taking as a space because the Power BI will read those data and it can able to find the what are the delimiter like it will take the maximum count delimiter. If the like if it has 10 rows as comma like on the balance 20 rows as a full stop, like if we have around 30 rows in this like in this column, it will take the full stop because it has like 20, it has contains like around 20 rows, right? So it will take about the maximum value. So here let's leave it as a space, and whether we need to split or the leftmost delimiter or the rightmost delimiter or each occurrence of the delimiter. The leftmost delimiter is nothing but if the space is occurred, like if the space, as you can see here, there is only one space between those two words. If like you may have some other data which may has like three names, like Fred Robertson, and like some other name after that. Like you may have like two space option here. Like we need to inform, like like we need to tell the Power BI like how to split the data. Whether you need to split the leftmost delimiter or the leftmost like a space we you have, like we have to split it by like that, or else you can go for the rightmost delimiter or each occurrence of the delimiter. If you have like around three space, it will be divided or it will be split as a three. Okay, so I don't know whether this table has around like three names or like a four names. I don't know, so I'm going to click on this each occurrence delimiter, or you can, or else I can go with this leftmost delimiter. And this quote character is nothing but if you need to mention any quote character for that, you can also mention. So I'm going to click on none and then click on OK. So as you can see here, that single column has been split into two. So this is how we can use this split column. Okay. So okay, and then I need to tell you something about this property windows. Okay. So this property, like yeah. Okay, guys. So now this property window, like this is nothing but the applied steps. Okay. So this entire bar represents, or this window represents, like what are all the sources that Power BI has done to import this data. Okay. So here, as you can see, source, navigation, change type, like a split column by delimiter, change type, like source, navigation, and change type. So these three will be like a default for the Power BI. If you import some data into this Power Query editor, these three steps will be repeated. So these three steps will be the default option by the Power BI. So the source, if you see on the source column, as you can see, this is the first step that we have applied for this data. As you can see, these are all the like the data which are all available in this Excel sheet. And the 2022 sales, it has a some separate table. And 2022 sales, we have a sheet here. Okay. And if you have any hidden features on that Excel, you can see here, like whether if you have hidden feature, it will show true here. Okay. And then the next step is like navigation. So navigation is nothing but we can see this 2022 sales, the table has been separated for the 2022 sales table. Okay, so this is nothing but the navigation. And if you go for the changed type, you can see here in this navigation, this is not this is not conformed with the type of the data which we have created. Okay, it may be alphabetic or it may be a numeric. Okay, but this entire column is alphabetic order, so we need to click alphabetic data. So we need to change the data as a like a alphabetic value, and this Power BI will automatically change its type. As you can see here, it is changed to the alphabetic, and here also it will be changed as alphabetic. Okay, so this is these three default steps will be automatically moved on by the Power BI. And this next step, like split column by the delimiter and the changed type. Okay, the split column by the delimiter is nothing but we have split these two columns. Like you can see, this is the data, this is the raw data that we have got from the Excel. So then we have splitted this column, right? So that step is applied here. So this is the step, like we have splitted the column by using the delimiter option. Okay. So the next one is changed type. Changed type is nothing but like we have seen in here itself, right? Like whether it is alphabetic or numeric, it is automatically taken, read by the Power BI, and it is automatically changes as alphabetic. And here also it will change like this. It will change the type whether it is alphabetic or numeric. Okay. So this is how these applied steps will work. Like you guys able to see like why this applied step window need to show here. Okay. Like in your normal report view, you may have an undo option here, but in this Power Query editor, you don't have any undo option because every step that we have that we have implemented in this Power Query editor, that will visible only here. If we need to use yeah, I don't want this split column right now. I need to I need to undo this step. You can't be able to undo it because in this Power Query editor we don't have undo option. So instead of that, this Microsoft Power BI has created they have created the applied steps power like a window bar here. Like you can directly click this remove option, and you can see here like it works as a undo, like undo button. Okay, like and also for if you are going to like if someone is going to review your report, okay, so like if someone is going to review your report, like they will see like what are all the steps that you have like you have taken while creating this report. Okay, so that will be very very easy for us to read those data. Okay, so the next one, like where we have left, yeah, split column, and then this group by option. Okay, this group by option is nothing but it will group those data. Okay, like I can't able to do this with this current data because I have vast topics to discuss in this with data. So this group by is nothing but it will group the common data which are all available in this column. Okay, it will group all those data and it will show the separate count for the data. As you can see here that EMP like 1041 has been repeated here, so it will group those data. Okay, and then if you don't have any headers in your Excel sheet, okay, you can click on this use first row as headers. Okay, and the use headers as a first row you can do by your own with this. Okay, and the next one is like merge queries, append queries. Like we can discuss this at the end of this video, and I'll show you how we can merge and append the queries, like how we can use this tool in this Power Query Editor. Okay, and the next one is text analysis, analytics, vision, and Azure machine learning. Like we will see deep about this, but because this will not play a big role while you are changing your data in this Power Query Editor. Okay. So the next one we have around here is transform data. Like most of the common tools we have here that will appear in home also. As you can see the transform option here, that will be like some of the tools will be repeated there itself. Okay, as you can see the group by use first row, and you can transpose like change the rows into columns and columns into rows. Okay, and you can reverse the rows and you can count the rows. Like you can like you can see here if you click on this column, it will show around there for 8 columns. Okay, and then 999 plus rows. If you have to count the rows, you can directly click on the rows and you can count it. Okay, if you click on this, you can see there are over 1,000 rows in that column. Okay, you can also, if you want to delete this, you can also directly delete this. Okay, undo the step. Okay, here. So the next one is around like detect the data type. Like we have discussed about this data type, right? Whether it's a text or a numerical value, you can create this, and you can rename this like you can rename the currently selected column name. Like for renaming it, we can also like yeah, we can also rename this particular data here, right? Like if we need to like this customer data, if I need to rename this as a customer, you can directly edit this and you can click enter button. It will automatically rename this data. And the other way to rename your data is you can see in this property window, and you can also rename here. Okay, so for the product, I'm going to rename it as a product. Okay, I don't want the data to be shown here. In the salespeople data also, I need just salespeople. That's enough for me. Okay, so this is how you can rename. You can also directly click on this. Okay, or like if you need to edit this particular column name, you can also double click it and you can rename it by your own, or else you can directly click here to rename this particular column. Okay, so this is how this rename tool will work. And then the replace value. So this replace value tool, yeah, excuse me. So this replace value tool, like we will use in PowerPoint, Excel, and Word, right? So like if we need to change like yeah, so I need to change this like what is if I need to change this Kevin into some other name. Okay, so some other name like Calvin or something. Okay, if I need to change this Kevin into Calvin, you can use this replace values. Okay, it not only for the new like alphabetic, it may also used for the numerical values. You can change this by your entire report, like this entire column, like this entire data will be changed based on this replace values. Okay, like this replace value, if you click on this like values to found. Okay, I'm going to click it as so like that. Okay, and I'm going to replace with like some other name. You can click on OK and it will be automatically replace those values. Okay, so this is how this replace value tools will work. And then so the next one is fill. Okay, so if we go for the sales 2022 data on like below this column name, you can able to see the like a light green color bar like below all these columns. Okay, if you go near to that, you can see here like order id, like it is 1000 or 1000 rows, it is valid, and error 0 empty 0. If you have any error in your data, like Power BI will automatically like analyze those data. If you have any error in the data, it will automatically show as 1, and the percentage will be changed as 0.1 or 1 percentage. Okay, like if you have like whether this in this data, like every rows has been filled with the data, like any values. If you have any empty data, it will show like empty call rows, which are all, like how many rows are available as a empty row. You can see like and also not only for like if you go for this and you can search see like this, like you can see the green bar here, it is fully like in green color, right? So if you have any empty data in this column, you can see like I can't able to show you. Okay, this entire green color will be like from this like from the start point to here only. Like other than that, it will be like a gray color because it is telling that our row, our column which we have selected, that is not fully like it is not a valid column. Okay, it may have some empty options. Okay, so this is how we can use this like this entire thing will work. Okay, so the next one is fill. Okay, like let me go for the bottom. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay for me. Like here, you have a 458 value, and bottom that you have 2091 and 826 and 1103. Okay, so if you have 458 values here, and below that there are over 3 rows which are all empty in this data. Okay, if you need to fill this data by the reference data of 458, you can directly go for the fill, and if you click on down, like the value which we have selected will be filled like below that, like below rows which are all available on this column. Okay, if we click on this up like a fill up option, it will like this 458 will be filled on the top side, which are like in what rows, like in the rows which are all shown as an empty. Okay, so this is how this fill tool will work. Okay, and the next one is like pivot column. Pivot column, like in Excel, this pivot column, like we will use some pivot table, right, in Excel. So it will be different. So this pivot column is used like yeah, I'll show you. If in this quantity, as you can see, 4 1 3 2 and like a few more numbers, like this pivot column is used to like separate those data. Like this quantity will be separated into like a 4 or 5 columns by each, and it will add a filters for each column, and this 4 will be repeated. Like if like you can see here, like I will create one pivot column for this values, like whether like in which column we should take it as a reference. Okay, yeah, this quantity is nothing but from the order id. Yeah, it's okay for me. If I click OK here, as you can see here, it will be separated into like I said before, it has been separated into 4 columns based on the like yeah, as you can see, if we have selected the order id as a reference for that for this table that we are going to, for the column which we are going to create, right? So based on the order id, this column has been separated into 4 columns. Okay, so this is how this pivot column will work. Okay, so I'm going to undo this. Let's go for this. Okay, so I think you guys have understood about this pivot column. Okay, so this quantity will be the quantity, the values you have like 1 4 3. So these value will be split into separate columns, so based on the order id. If we select this order id, like this quantity table will be split into some separate columns based on this order id. If you need to select this product id as a reference, like this quantity will be separated as a individual columns based on the product id. Okay, so this is how like this pivot column will work. And if you have like if you have created for the pivot columns, you can also unpivot those columns. Okay, and then like if you need to move this column to the left, you can also move that. Okay, or else like you can drag this and you can move like anywhere you want, okay, or else you can use this move tool, okay. So the next one is like split column we have seen here and the format, yeah, okay. And then the extract. Extract is nothing but if we need to extract a particular data from this column, you can use this extract tool. And let me show an example like how this extract tool will work, okay. And yeah, if you have a delimiter, you can use this, but like yeah, for this I'm going to I'm going to extract the last four like numerical values, and I'm going to the last characters here, like enter how many ending characters to keep, okay. So I'm going to keep the last four, like yeah, like this ending character I need, okay. If I click on new, okay, you can see here the call like we have like a phi like something, right? So that it will be extracted from the column, and you can see here that the applied steps, like we have extracted the last characters, like okay. So if you need to undo that, you can click on here, so that step will be deleted, okay. So this is how you can use this extract tool, okay. So other than this, I think this is the common tool that we will use in Power Creator. But if you go for the advanced level, the statistics, standard, scientific, and trigonometry, rounding information, all these tool will work. Okay. So if you have any, like if you know about this Python script, you can directly run your code, run your report by you, like you can change any data by using your Python coding. Okay. So we will see deep about the tools which we have left in this session. Okay. The next one is add column. Add column is nothing but if you need to add any separate column, you can also add by your own, like columns from an example. If you take this as an example, it will make a separate column based on this example, okay. So and then custom column. Custom column is nothing but you have to write your own code, like a DAX function. You need to write your code here, like yeah, if you can use any condition here, but I'm going to explain this entire custom column as a separate video because it has more tools, and also I need to explain like how this code will work, okay. So it will take more time, so I'll teach you in a separate video for that, okay. So yeah, so if you need to know more about this custom column, you can go by your own, and if you know this DAX function before, you can go by your own, okay. So we will see a separate video for this custom column, and okay. And then the conditional column, okay. If you need to create any more conditional columns, you can create it by your own, okay. If you go for the conditional column, it will have like if it will ask us to create a new column name, and then you can create like if the order id column contains something, so then the output will be like this, okay. You can also add like uh, like many conditions for the, like if you have to create a column with many conditions, you can also create n number of conditions here, and else we can put zero here, or if you need to if your output needs something, if the value that you have mentioned as not find in the particular column, you can create some else option here, okay. So this is how this conditional column tool will work, and we will see separate video for this conditional column, okay. Like I will create some separate data for that, and then I'll show you how this conditional column will work with a perfect example, okay. Now I'm going to close this, okay. And if you need to duplicate this particular column, okay, so I recommend you guys, like if you are going to create any report for a practice or for your organization, if you are going to change any particular data in this column, you better duplicate this product id as a, like you can see here the product id as a copy here. You want to click the duplicate option, and you can see here the product id, the original data will appear here. So nothing but we have duplicated that column. Okay. So if you have to try something, or if you have to create any extraction for this table, you can directly duplicate this column and you can work on this particular column. Okay. Or else you can also rename this as duplicate product ID. Okay. You can also rename like this and you can edit these data. Okay. So like yeah, so this is how like the format extract like we have seen before itself, right? It will be repeated here. And if you go for the views, like you can use the go to columns, and you can see the advanced editor option here, okay. So This is how it will work. And if you don't want this formula bar, you can see this formula bar, right? So this formula bar is nothing but, as you can see here, how this table has created and how it has been imported by the Power BI. Okay, so the table, like we have renamed this as a duplicated column, and the product, like this is a copy of this product ID, right? So it is mentioning here. Like if you go for this order date, okay, I think it is not syncing. So if you go for this separate, like how this data is imported, you can go here and you can change by your own. Okay, so this is how this formula bar. If you need this, you can also turn it on, or else you can turn it off. Okay, whenever you want. Okay, so I think we have covered almost what are all the basic tools that we have to know while using this Power Query editor. So I'm going to undo all the steps that which we have done in this report. Okay. So, okay, and let's see how we can convert the data. Like I said, let me explain about this append queries and merge queries. Okay, and then let's see some most of the tools which we have used for importing the data other than this ribbon menu. Okay, so like yeah, so so these are all the tables will be available on the report view. Okay, so if we need like you can also create a new group here. Okay, let me create and let me explain why this new group tool is work. Okay, so I'm going to rename it as like model underscore tbl. Table is nothing but table, so I'm going to short form it. Okay, if you need to add any description, you can add it by your own, but I don't want to add any description here, so I'm just going to click OK. You can see here, so the group has been created. Okay, so why we are creating a new group? Okay, so you can see the entire queries, like entire table which we have imported from the Excel sheet. Okay, so I need this customer data, location data, product data, sales people data. So all these data I need into the Power BI. But I don't want the sales 2020, sales 2021, sales 2022, because all these data are similar except the date of the particular data. Okay, so what if like we can merge these three data and we can create a single separate sheet for the sales data. Okay, so we will see after that after some time. But before that, like we have created model table here, right? Okay, like we can separate these data, like what are all the data that we have that we need on the like a report view data. We can change the data. Okay, let me show you. Like I need customer data, like you can drag this into this model table, and I need location data and product data and the salespeople data. Okay, instead of selecting individually, like you can click this data and like you can press the shift key, and if you click that, all this will be selected and you can directly drop into the model view. Okay, so yeah, we have moved these four tables from the other queries to the model table which we have created as a new group. Okay, so I'm going to like it's nothing but a separate file. Like it's not like a complicated thing. We are just separating as a separate folder for that. Okay, where this model table folder, like these four data, like we can turn it on or turn it off. Like a mm, what way I can explain you like. Yeah, I don't want this sales 2022, sales 2021, sales 2020. These I don't want these three data into the report view. Okay, so if you don't want this data, you can right click it, and if you click on this, if you unclick this enable row, like you can't be able to see the sales 2022 data on the report view. Okay, you can just see in this Power Query editor only. Okay, okay, instead of that, if you have over 10 or like 15 sheets, 15 tables, it is very hard. Like you need to find whether this table has load or whether it is unloaded or it is loaded. Like how you can search that, how you can see that. So for that only we are creating a separate folder for that, and in this folder I'm going to drop all those tables which we need on the report view. Okay, on this other queries folder, I'm going to keep what are all the data. I need to take it as a reference, but I don't want these data on the report view. Okay, so this is how you can create a new group and you can use those data on the report view. Okay, so then next one is, like I said before, I don't want the sales 2020, sales 2021, sales 2022. I need these three tables as a single table. Okay, for that you can go for the append queries. Okay, these append queries and merge queries is nothing but we can combine like it's not like n number of table into a single table. Okay, okay, let's see what is the difference between this merge queries and the append queries. Under that, you can see that merge query and merge query as new, and the append queries also it will be same, like append queries and append queries as new. Okay, merge queries. Like I don't want to click that. Okay, merge queries is nothing but okay. Let's see the append queries first, and then it will be very easy for you to understand how this tool will work. Okay, okay, it has two queries like append queries and append queries as new. But let's click on the append queries. As you can see, whether we need to change, like whether we need to combine two tables or three or more tables. Here we have around three tables, so I'm going on with the three tables, like three or more tables. As you can see, the sales 2022 is the current. Okay, if you need to add sales 2021 into this, you can add like this, or else like you can drag and drop here. Okay, I'm going to select this and click on add, and if you click on OK, these three tables like will be combined as a single table. But we have clicked here as only append queries. We are not clicked as append queries as new. Okay, if you click on only the append queries, as you can see the current here, these 2022 sales data will be available here, but 2021 sales data also available here. But in this 2022 sales data, like all these three data will be like updated here. Okay, like we don't like if we have created append queries option here, we can't be able to see like the sales 2022 column here. Okay, because this will be updated as a 3 years column as a single column. Okay, so I don't want this. I'm going to create append queries as a new, because we are going to create a new table and then we are going to combine these three tables into that. Okay, so let's let's go for the three or more tables, and now here we can select what are all the data that we need to append. Okay, sales 2022, it has been selected, sales 2021, and then sales 2020. Okay, after selecting this, you can just click on OK. It will take some time to load your data. As you can see here, the append one is created here. Okay, so the we have created append queries as new, right? So the sales 2020 data won't change, sales 2021 data also won't change, and this data also won't change. Like we have created a separate table by combining those three tables. Okay, as you can see in this append one, like we have created this, right? You can go for the ordered date, and you can see the list may be incomplete. You can just click on load more. This just refresh data for that. You can see the 2020 data here, and if you go a little bit down, you can see the 2021 data here. If you go much more down, you can see 2022 data here. Okay, so this is how we can use this append queries instead of using these three tables. Like you can also use these three tables as a separate table, but if you have like more number of tables, it is very hard for you to align those data into your report. Okay, so for that we are using this append tool. So I think you guys able to know, like came to know about what this append tool and why it is used. Okay, so this append tools, like how it has been working. As you can see in the sales 2020 tables, like order ID, product ID, location ID, salesperson ID, customer ID. On the 2021 sales also, it will be same. The column name will be same. Order ID, product ID, location ID, salesperson ID, and 2022 also it will be same. So this append query is nothing but it will merge the entire data based on this column. Okay, the data will be updated on the rows. Okay, that first it will be 2020 and the next will be 2021 and below it will be 2022. Okay, so it will be aligned, and it will, or it will be like it will add those data into a single table on the row wise based on the column. Okay, if you go for the merge queries is nothing but if you don't if we have 2020 as a separate column name, and in 21 also it is not similar to the 2020 as a column name, but you have the same order ID. You can see here Like you can see like OID 10022. If we have the same order ID here, you can use match queries. Like match queries will be used to like connect these three tables or combining these three tables by taking these rows as a reference. Okay. Like if you combine these three data by using merge queries, in that order ID itself, all these data based on year, it will be like it will be combined. Okay, so this is how this merge queries and append queries will work. Okay, and we have combined all these sales into the single sales data, right? So I'm going to rename it as a sales data. Okay, so now this sales data, I want it as a report. I want this particular table in my report view. So I'm going to drag it towards the model view. Okay. So this is how we can create or we can merge or we can combine our data in this Power Query editor. Okay. So I think we have covered, like we have seen many tools in this video. Okay. And then I need to tell something. Okay, if we directly click on close and apply. Okay, if you directly click on this close and apply now, this every table like which we have created here will occur on the report view. Okay, so then what is the purpose of creating another model table here? Why we have created a new group here? Okay, so I don't want the sales 2022, sales 2021, sales 2020 in my report view. So instead of that, I have created a separate sales table which contains those three, like those data for all these 3 years. Okay. So I don't want these tables to view on my report view. So that's why I have created a column named other queries. Okay. So in this data, in this group, this is nothing but the group, right? So in this group, I'm going to collect the data which I don't want to view on the report view. Okay. So these are all the data I don't want to view on the report view. So for that, if you click on this right side, okay, right click, you can see here like many options here like copy, delete, paste, rename, and you can see these two options has been enabled here. Okay, enable load and include in report refresh. Okay, so these two options, like I forgot to teach you like how this tool will work. Okay, so if you go for the enable load option, like enable load is nothing but it is like in the switched on condition, right? If you enable this load, you will see this data on the report view. Like okay, if you unclick this enable load, so like wait, I'll unclick it. As you can see here, the font from like this sales, this is on the load condition, right? So this is the table that we have unloaded here. As you can see, this name font has been changed into a italic style. Okay, like if whether it like this is a very easy understanding like whether our data as a load or it doesn't have any load. Okay, if your data as a load, it will look like a normal font, and if your data as if we have used any unload option here, you can see our table name will change into some italic font. Okay, okay, so I don't want this sales 2021 also, so I'm going to disable the load for these three data. As you can see, these data has changed into a italic style. Okay, okay, so the next one is include in report refresh. So this will be turned off because we have turned off this enable load option, right? So we can't able to edit this. Okay, so this include in report refresh. What is this? Okay, like we have updated something in our Excel sheet about this sales data or in this sales 2022 or 2021 or 2020. If we have changed any data in this Excel sheet, okay, we have combined these three sales data into a single sales data, right? So if something we have changed on the Excel sheet that which we have imported in this report or in this Power BI, so if you change something on that Excel sheet, if you unclick that, like even if you click this refresh, those data which we have edited in that Excel sheet will not get refreshed into this Power Query editor or in the Power BI itself. Okay, so we have to click this because we have created a sales table based on these three sales tables. So if these three sales table data won't get refreshed means, so this table data will also not get refreshed. So I'm going to click this as a enable function for this include in report refresh. Okay, so this is how this tool will work. Okay, so I think we have done much more on this data. Like we have seen what are all the tools available in this Power Query editor as basic tools. Okay, like I have missed some more few tools here, but for that it may take some more time to explain about the entire entire tools. Like about if we go for the conditional column itself, like you can see there are over various options available in that conditional column. So it will take around um, for basic itself, it will take around 30 minutes for you for me to explain you guys. So I have to put it as a separate video for that by having some separate data for using that conditional column. Okay, or else we will create a report for these tables that we have imported in this Power BI, in this report view, right? We have imported this data, right? So we are going to create a report on upcoming videos, and we will see what are all the tools that we have to use for that. Like we will use the conditional column to change that, or we will create a custom column for that. And also we can, like you can see, we will use pivot column for that. So we will use many various tools to convert this data. Okay, because the report creation, the visualization is very easy. Okay, this tool, like this Power Query editor, where we will edit those data which we have imported from the Excel. Okay, so this will play a big role while you are creating like any report. Okay, so this Power Query Editor will play a big role. Okay, so here you have to spend more time while you are creating a report. Okay, if you have a single table, you can directly go for the load and you can directly create your report like we have done in the previous video. But I think this is also a very small data, like when compared to the other advanced reports. Like if you go for any organization, you will see around hundreds or two hundreds of data and two hundreds of tables. So it is very hard for you to create a report by using those tables. Okay, so this will be the intermediate level. If you came to know about how to use this Power Query editor and how to use this grouping options and how to use this enable load and unenable load, then you can able to explore more on the more the tools which are available in this Power BI. So then it will be very easy for you to create any kind of report. Okay, so these are all the tools that we need to know if you are using the Power BI tool for creating a report. Okay, so then you can go for the home, and I think I'm okay with that. So I'm going to click on this close and apply. So it will take some time to load all our data which we have edited on the Power Query editor. Okay, so it will take some time here. Okay, our data has been imported. So since we imported our data, we just gone for the transform data only. We have not loaded yet. Okay, so for after the Power Query editor, after updating all those data on the Power Query editor, so now only those data will be loaded here. Okay, as you can see here, customer, location, product, salespeople, and the sales table which you have created for all those, combining all those 3 years, that will be created as a separate here. And then we can see here we have created some new group, right? For a model table we have created a separate group, so that group only got viewed here. So because we have turned, like we have disabled the load for those three, like sales 2022, sales 2021, and the sales 2020, we have disabled the load, right? So for that, those data will not able to viewed here. Okay, so okay, so this is how you can use this Power Query editor, and I think you guys have came to know about why this Power Query editor is used in Power BI. And yeah, sometimes you may forget to transform your data, and instead of that you can directly click on the load data. And I think suddenly if you need to go for the Power Query editor, so directly you can go for using this transform data option. You can directly click on this Power Query editor will open. You can, like if you forgot something to update on this Power Query editor, you can directly go here and you can change it, and you can close and apply, and then it will be updated on your report view. Okay, so now I'm going to close this Power Query editor because I'm going to do only the close option here because we have not made any changes just now. We came just now, right? So I'm going to close this. It will not take, like it will never refresh our data. If we click on close and apply only, it will take some time to refresh our data. Okay, so yeah guys, this is how we can use this Power Query editor. Okay, so I can't able to do visualization now because we need to change more and more on these data using Power Query editor and using DAX functions. And like I said before, we need to create uh, like a new query by using a blank query, or it may be a web query, like I said before, right? Like we need to create more, like we need to import more data in this table, okay, by using Power Query Editor. So yeah, guys, so this will be the basic video. Okay, so on upcoming videos, you will see what are all the tables that we need to add and how we can create a visualization based on this table. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. If you want more videos with the Power BI, or if you need any separate videos for a separate tool, you can comment below and I will upload more videos based on this Power BI. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. So we will see in next videos. Until then, bye.